My name is Erin Bugbee, and today I'm excited to share some work with Bugbee Gonzalez from my PhD at Carnegie Mellon University. Our paper is titled Setting and Adjusting Thresholds in an Optimal Stopping Task, Model Predictions and Empirical Results. In this work, we study optimal stopping problems. Problems like deciding when should I buy a coat when it may go on sale but also may sell out. In these types of problems, researchers have proposed that people set thresholds to decide when to stop searching. Most models assume that people set these thresholds to guide these stopping decisions. However, whether humans actually set and adjust their thresholds with experience remains unexamined. So in this work, we sought to investigate how people set and adjust thresholds when explicitly asked to do so, and whether this affects their search behavior and learning over time. This leads to our main research questions. Do people set and adjust thresholds with experience when making sequential stopping decisions? And does setting thresholds affect behavior and learning? To study this, we turn to an optimal stopping task that we developed. In this task, participants completed a total of 50 problems. Each problem consisted of a sequence of 10 boxes, each box having a value sampled from a normal distribution, centered at 50 with a standard deviation of 20, and these values ranged from 0 to 100. For each box they encountered, they had to decide whether to pass or select it, and their goal was to select the box with the highest value in the sequence. This process varied by condition. We had 3 conditions. In the no setting condition, they could just decide when to pass or stop freely. In a non-binding and binding condition, they were asked to set a threshold before seeing the value of each box. As shown here, they had to enter a threshold, set it, and then they were shown the value after that. In the non-binding condition, the participant could then decide which action to take regardless of their set threshold. And in the binding condition, if the value was below the threshold, they had to pass it. And if it was above or equal to, they had to select it. So they were bound based on the threshold they provided. In terms of the methods, we collected this data for the human participants from Amazon Mechanical Turk and a between subjects design. For each human participant, we simulated an optimal agent, which was experiencing the same sequences of problems in the same order, serving as a theoretically optimal baseline. For each participant, we also simulated an instance-based learning agent. This agent decided according to instance-based learning theory from Gonzalez et al. 2003. And we used the internals of this model to calculate a threshold for the non-binding and binding conditions. And the way that instance-based learning theory works is described here on the poster, as well as can be referred to with a few publications in the paper in more detail. So what did we find? Ultimately, we found that participants did better when they were not asked to set thresholds. So this was very interesting. They ended up having higher accuracy and lower errors of under-exploration and of under-exploration, and slightly more over-exploration, closer to optimal. And we see on the right that this is because people are searching longer when not setting thresholds compared to when setting non-binding or non-binding thresholds. And the interesting thing here as well is that even when they were not bound to the thresholds, they still searched less and were less accurate and made more errors by stopping too early. So that leads to our main findings. We saw that behavior differed if thresholds were set compared to not setting thresholds, with participants searching longer when they were not setting. We found that accuracy was higher for participants who did not set thresholds compared to those who did. And participants in the non-binding condition adhered to their thresholds only about 21% of the time, often erring by setting them too low. Importantly, however, they were correct to not follow these set thresholds, and this led them to be higher in their accuracy when they ignored their own thresholds. Additionally, we find that the IBL agents were able to accurately predict the differences in search length and accuracy by condition